People should know about the Tillamook Air Museum that we're in an old World War II dirigible hangar. That's typically the first thing people see. They'll drive up and they'll see this massive hangar with the letters Air Museum written on the side. And I think out of pure curiosity, people will stop and say, what the heck is that building? I know it's an Air Museum, but how old is this hangar? What is this hangar used for? Can you tell me a little bit more about it? So our mission staff will tell the people that the hangar was built during World War II for blimps that would patrol the Pacific coastline for Japanese submarines during the war. And of course, that'll automatically pique people's interest. So people will pay admission to come into the museum and then realize it's not just the hangar itself they've come to see. They have all these historic aircraft here that have histories of their own. We have an exhibit hall that we're standing in here that has a lot of rare wartime aviation themed artifacts. So we like to call it history housing history. So my name is Christian Gerling. I'm the museum curator at the Tillamook Air Museum. I've been at the Tillamook Air Museum about 13 years now. We always used to come to the Oregon coast as children, and I thought, well, this is a natural spot, and the position as curator came open at the museum. So I thought, well, this is just a natural fit. So I was actually a political science major in college, but history was my minor. And I grew up with aviation in my blood. My grandfather Gerling was an engineer at Convair Aircraft down in San Diego. My dad also worked for Convair Aircraft. My granduncle Jerry flew Catalunas and Corsairs during World War II. So I grew up with all this history and aviation in my blood and all these stories. So it was just a natural fit that I would come here to curate the Tillamook Air Museum. So there was two hangars here on the site, Hangar A and Hangar B. Hangar B was built first in August of 1943, and then Hangar A was completed soon after in August of 1943 as well. Both of them are the exact same size. They're both 1,072 feet in length, 296 feet wide, and then 192 feet up to the crown. They started work on the hangar in November of 1942 and completed the hangar in November of 1943, so right at the height of World War II. All over the world, air museums are a dime a dozen, but what makes the Tillamook Air Museum unique is the hangar itself. The hangar itself is a piece of history, is part and parcel of the museum. I liken the Tillamook Air Museum, we're almost like a historic house museum. Only much, much larger. For instance, if you'd go to the Flavel House up in Astoria, you come for the house. Or for instance, if you visited the Lizzie Borden house back east, you'd come for the home. A lot of people come here just for the hangar itself, but end up staying and being really, really intrigued by the items, the artifacts that are inside the hangar itself. So again, the hangar itself is really what makes us unique from any other air museum anywhere else in the world. The people that visit the Air Museum tend to be all walks of life. It's families, it's military veterans. We like to say we have something for everybody here. You might come as the historian because you see the hangar off the side of the road, and then you come in and completely intrigued. We have women who are very, very intrigued because we have a Women of World War II display in our exhibit hall that we're standing in here. So they become very, very interested in there. The children come in because we have trainers that they can play in, and we can educate the children on our past and into our future. So we have all walks of life that visit the Tillamook Air Museum. We don't have one particular demographic the way most museums might. It's really important to preserve the Tillamook Air Museum because we're actually one of 17 wooden hangars that were built during World War II. The hangars themselves were very, very unique at the time. When you think about it, nothing else in the size and materials and design have ever been built in human history. And frankly, when they started building the hangars out of wood during World War II, people thought they were crazy. They said, "What, you want to build a 1,000-foot long wooden hangar? There's no way. As soon as we get the first strong wind here on the coast, it's just going to blow over." So the fact that it's still standing is a testament to design and the engineering, the fortitude, and the manpower that took them to build this thing during World War II. The fire in Hangar B was in 1955, and there was a lumber mill in here at the time, Diamond Lumber, and it started up on the southwest corner of the roof, and fortunately they were able to put the fire out. So in August of 1992, a large fire started in Hangar A. There was 135,000 bales of dry straw that, for whatever reason, ended up catching on fire. So the firefighters, when they got called out here, they more or less concentrated on saving Hangar B, because by the time they got out to Hangar A, the hangar was completely engulfed in flames. So in fact, it was generating winds of about 50 miles per hour inside the hangar. So the firefighters got out as quick as they could, started putting out the brush fires around the hangar, and then we were really standing guard around Hangar B so that Hangar B didn't catch on fire as well. So unfortunately, it was 5 days short of its 49th birthday when Hangar A burned down in August of 1992. What makes the Tillamook Air Museum run on a day-to-day basis is a dedicated staff who are very, very passionate about what they do of preserving history and educating visitors. I like to call it education through interaction, seeing and experiencing history firsthand. We also have a dedicated set of volunteers that take our visitors around and tell them about the hangar. And we also have maintenance staff who help build exhibits and help design exhibits and keep everything safe here. So we have a tremendous amount of staff help make the museum run. To be able to teach folks about the histories and about what's happened in the past, about particular individuals and events and actions and peoples. So it's very, very important to go back and concentrate on those moments in history and study them in depth so that we don't make these terrible mistakes that we seem to keep repeating over and over again. So they can support us by coming out and volunteering at the Tillamook Air Museum if you live locally. We're not very stringent like a lot of museums in terms of hours required to volunteer. You can also donate to the Tillamook Air Museum via our website, which is www.tillamookair.com. You can also follow us on our Facebook page at Tillamook Air Museum. So there's a multitude of ways you can support us.